So part 2 of The Cops Just Left. Happy Saturday! So the guy with the gun is gone. The guy that got the crap beat out of him is walking down the street. I go out into my driveway so that I can see which direction the guy is going, and to see if I can tell if he's okay. So the guy starts yelling and screaming at other cars, which means he was probably the instigator in the original incident. And then he sees me, and he starts yelling and screaming. I'm on 911 the whole time, trying to explain to her where he's at, what he's doing, what he's wearing. And then he starts running at me. And I'm like, fuck. So I start backing up towards the house. And when he gets about halfway to me, I'm like, that's it. I'm in the house. Then I'm done. The operator is like, well, we need to know what direction he's going. Did you not just hear me that he ran towards me? Yelling and screaming profanities. I was like, well, get a cop car here and we'll know what direction he goes now, won't we? But she's telling me they're still trying to figure out exactly where I'm at. Even though I gave them my address and the cross streets, because we're on a corner. I went back outside after the guy walked away so I could see what direction he went, and I was able to give her a better description of his clothing. And as I'm doing this, an El Paso water truck, pulls up in my driveway. I'm like, dude, you're not going to help. So he parks, like, blocking our driveway. The guy gets out of the car, and I'm like, well, you know what? There's a water utility guy here. Let me ask him. Because the lady keeps asking me, is it north, south, east, or west? It's towards the fucking mountain. There's only one direction to go. I explained to him what was going on. He goes, oh, that's west. Good to know. So I told her that he turned on this other street and he was headed up west. He's like, are you okay? Like, I just wish cops would get here. He's like, well, we will stay here with you until they do. I appreciate that very much. And then he proceeded to ask me if I minded if they blocked our driveway for a few minutes because they needed to get water out of the fire hydrant. He's like, is anybody going to be coming home that we're going to bother? I'm like, no, because I don't know when she's coming home. So go ahead. Besides, I feel better with 2 men standing there with me when there's a crazy guy and another guy with a gun. So while I'm still on with dispatch, cop car pulls up in front of our house and just keeps going. I'm like, well, there's a unit here, but I don't know if it's for us or not. She goes, well, it probably is. So she asked me to confirm again which way the guy turned. So dispatch asked me again to confirm which way the guy turned. So I figured out the cop was definitely for him because of the fact that he sat at the stop sign for 3 cycles. And the car behind him was pissed because he honked. So the cop car turns and goes up the right way. I'm still on with dispatch. And then after all of this is said and done, before I get off with dispatch again, I have to go through every piece of information that I had already given her. The last 8-9 minutes on the phone with her being spent now going over every single thing that was said. Then she asked me if I would like for the police officers to make contact with me. And I'm like, well, everybody left, so I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, there's a part 3, because it gets weird.